3 years ago, Lucas' mother paid me $10 million to play his fated mate with the help of a potion. Lucas believed I was hopelessly in love with him. What he didn't know was that I was nothing more than a hired actress. By day, I stood at his side during training. By night, he paraded a she-wolf through the mansion. He once sneered, "Don't delude yourself into thinking the mate bond can change me." I only smiled, silently counting my money. Funny, because I never planned on giving you my heart, either. On the day the potion wore off, I walked away with the fortune, while he spiraled into madness. 3 years later, I returned victorious as the youngest S-class strategy consultant. There he was on his knees murmuring, "I was wrong." Little did Lucas know that his arrogance, handed out like charity, had carried a hefty price tag of $10 million. Now, even if he lost everything, it still wouldn't be enough to buy my forgiveness. The mate bond was said to be sacred, but what if a false mate could be purchased for $10 million? The moment Lucas Stone claimed his alpha title, he was quick to sever our mate bond. Lucas loomed over me, his arm wrapped around Laura Black, his new she-wolf. "I appreciate the last 3 months, Ava Green, but as an alpha, I need a more fitting mate." "Sure thing," I said in a flat tone. "Congrats." Silence fell over the room. That's it." Samantha Barber's eyes widened. "You're supposed to be mates." Laura was taken aback at first, but she soon broke into a smug smile. "Thank you for your well wishes." It did not take long for her smile to falter, though. The earnest look on my face carried an unsettling edge. "Has she snapped?" someone murmured. Marcus Ryan carefully turned to Lucas, whose expression appeared grim. "Ava pursued Lucas for 3 months, training alongside him every morning. I doubt she's as calm as she seems." There was a whisper in the crowd. "It's just an act." I bet that she'd be crying on her knees, begging Lucas not to leave her in 3 days. How can an Omega survive without her Alpha anyway? The tense lines across Lucas' face eased. "If you come crawling back, I might reconsider my decision." "That won't be necessary." I glanced at my phone, confirming that the final transfer had gone through. "I'm leaving the Silver Moon Pack tomorrow." "What?" Lucas furrowed his brows. "Where are you going?" "Well, I'm just going away for a bit," I uttered after much thought. In fact, I would be heading to the training grounds of the International Pack Alliance, but the revelation would be too shocking. "Ava, don't be silly." Lucas smirked. "I know the rejection is too much for you to handle," but Lucas gripped his chest, his complexion discoloring. The mate bond was gone. Our bond was completely severed 2 hours ahead of time. What's going on? Lucas staggered back. The mate bond. Oh, I guess even the moon goddess didn't find us a good fit. I shrugged. Saves us the trouble of the ritual, doesn't it? That's impossible. Lucas was shocked. How can the mate bond vanish on its own? I looked at the time. I need to pack my bags. Goodbye. Hold it right there. Before Lucas could catch up to me, the after effects of the broken bond drained his energy. I walked away without looking back, leaving behind the murmurs. Does she not care at all? Maybe she's been trying to end things for a while. She looks pretty happy. Out of the mansion, I sent Victoria Stone a text message. The contract is fulfilled. It was a pleasure doing business with you. Victoria texted back right away. I've booked your flight for tonight. She was a smart woman for sure, sending me away before her son could uncover the truth. I took one last look at the Silver Moon Pack. Goodbye, Lucas Stone. Thank you for the last 3 months. You were key to helping me earn a life-changing amount of money. 3 years later, the International Pack Security Summit was held at the Trilton Hotel in Manhattan, New York. 3 years of training in Europe transformed me completely, and I rose to become the youngest S-class strategic advisor, commanding tactical and leadership skills far beyond the ordinary. Each strategy and decision was built through countless simulations. Today, I was set to attend the summit as a surprise guest. Before that, I would need to observe the wolf packs from North America. Under the alias Aaron White, I wore a plain black suit and a pair of non-prescription glasses. I pulled my hair back into a low bun. With a standard attendee pass in hand, I picked a seat in a corner. The pre-summit cocktail party was in full swing as the hall was filled with chatter. I heard that the S-Class consultant will be demonstrating her zero-casualty tactics today. A young werewolf exclaimed excitedly. She's Erin White. His companion kept his voice down. Apparently, her battle strategies have never once failed. My cousin once witnessed Erin in action in Europe, another chimed in. Her speed and strength are unparalleled. Rumor has it that she's making tens of millions a year. It's more than that. She charged the pack in Italy $5 million as a consultant for 3 months. I'd give anything to meet her in person. The Silver Moon pack arrived. Lucas walked at the front. His 3 years as an alpha sharpened his authority and maturity. However, I could read the exhaustion in his eyes. The Silver Moon pack's recent struggles were no secret in the werewolf world. The woman by Lucas' side caught my eye. She was Laura Black, the only daughter of the Black Rock Pack's alpha. Rumors of a mating alliance were already circulating. Laura was draped in a $20,000 Dior haute couture dress, a pink diamond necklace sparkling brilliantly around her neck. Samantha trailed behind Laura, adorned in Hermes from head to toe. Her Birkin bag was worth at least $300,000. She was in charge of the Silver Moon packs external affairs, a position every wolf knew how she had secured. Marcus remained steadfastly behind Lucas as always. They strode straight into the VIP section, where leather sofas and expensive champagne were set up exclusively for the alphas. I pulled my attention back to the documents in hand. These were confidential files detailing the power dynamics of all the wolf packs. Samantha, holding a glass of champagne, walked past me. She strutted on her 4-inch heels, carrying herself with an air of arrogance. Suddenly, her pace faltered. As a werewolf, she had a keen sense of smell. Despite the use of special scent blockers, I could not hide certain things, and that was a wolf's signature scent. She glanced back at me with a frown. However, my lowered head, glasses, and different hairstyle threw her off. Samantha shook her head in confusion and went on her way. 10 minutes later, she returned and stopped near me. This scent, she mumbled under her breath and leaned in with a step. With nowhere to run and hide, I picked my head up. Samantha's eyes widened. This can't be your. She drew closer, her face inches from mine as her eyes scanned my features. In the end, she let out a shriek. Oh, my moon goddess. Ava. Is that you? Is it really you? Samantha's scream pierced through the room, and every wolf in the hall cocked their heads toward us. Ava? Marcus was the first to come over. Where is Ava? That's her right there. Samantha exclaimed out loud in excitement, her voice loud enough for the entire room to hear. She's the Omega cleaner from 3 years ago. That's Ava who ran away after Lucas rejected her. Clamor broke out. What? She's the infamous simp. Oh, my moon goddess. She has some nerves to come back. A crowd gathered and stared at me as if I were some circus animal. Laura put down her glass of champagne with grace and strutted closer. Sweetheart, is she the Omega you've told me about before? She looked me up and down as if I were some kind of filth. Lucas came over as well. He was overwhelmed with a complex of emotions, shock, anger, and something else I could not read. You're back. His voice was husky when he made the statement. Lucas stood before me, his sharp gaze running over my features to seek confirmation. 3 years, he said. You have gone missing for 3 whole years. Samantha added. I know, right? She disappeared without a word, only to be back now. Talk about having no shame. Shut up. Lucas cut her off sharply. Though taken aback, Samantha kept her mouth shut. Laura clung to Lucas' arm. Sweetheart, is she the Omega? Instead of responding to her question, Lucas kept his eyes on me. Why are you back? I kept my silence. I guess you couldn't make it out there on your own. He sneered while checking for my response. Look at her clothes. Samantha approached me and reached to feel my sleeve. Oh, moon goddess. What fabric is this? Polyester? She took a step back in exaggeration. I bet you gotta steal probably 3 of these for $20. How did she get in? One werewolf raised a question. The entrance fee is $5,000. Surely, she must have stolen a pass. Maybe she snuck her way in? Samantha let out a knowing smile. She probably got in through unsavory means. We all know Omegas have their ways of getting by. Laura was amused. Unsavory means? Are you saying? I'm not saying anything. Samantha played innocent. I just think that given her circumstances, I don't see how else she could have gained entry. Laura unzipped her Hermes crocodile bag and pulled out a diamond-encrusted Cartier purse. Poor thing. She whipped out a stack of $100 bills. I feel so bad that you're down on your luck. She hurled the money to the floor, and the bills scattered everywhere. Pick them up. The money should be enough to feed you for a quarter. Come on, get the money. Samantha nudged the pile of cash with her red-soled heel. What are you waiting for? This is more than you make in a month, right? Wait, do you even have a job? Samantha pretended as if she had come to a realization. By the looks of you, I doubt you have a respectable one. Maybe you're still knee-deep into cleaning. How much does a cleaner make a month? $1,000? In New York? No way. Maybe 600 at best. I sat there keeping still. Oh, I get it. Laura pulled out more money and threw down one bill at a time, as if she were feeding strays. You want more? Right? How about now? This should be enough to cover your rent for 6 months. Rent? Samantha laughed out loud to the point of tears. She can't afford rent. Just look at her. She's probably living in some basement in the Bronx. A basement sounds like a dream for her. She might just be living under a bridge. Maybe a homeless shelter? She must be waiting in line for handouts every day. The insults just piled in. Lucas furrowed his brows. That's enough, Samantha. But Alpha. I said enough. His tone was irrefutable. Lucas turned to me. What do you do now? Before I could give an answer, Lucas said, the Silver Moon Pack is hiring. If you need a job. Lucas, what are you doing? Laura pulled him back in displeasure. Lucas glanced at Laura and smirked. Since she's worked for the pack before, I don't mind giving her a job now that she's fallen on hard times. The cleaning crew can use an extra pair of hands. $3,000 a month is fair. It's better than whatever you're doing now, Lucas said with a mix of emotions. I quietly met his gaze, a smile playing along my lips. I appreciate the gesture, but it's unnecessary. Unnecessary? Lucas raised a brow, surprised that I would turn down the offer. That's right. It's unnecessary. My tone was flat. Laura saw her chance to mock me. Oh, don't act high and mighty. Do you think you're still the poor little thing that Lucas spoiled 5 years ago? I know, right? You should thank your lucky stars that you are given a job, Samantha chimed in. Ignoring them, I faced Lucas head on. I'm doing well for myself. I don't need your charity. Charity. Lucas grimaced. Get your facts right, Ava. I'm offering you a chance. I don't need it. Murmurs ripped through the room. Despite being down and out, the Omega had some nerve to turn down a job from the Alpha. A flicker of rage flashed past Lucas' face. Get up. Who do you think you are? His voice was laced with the authority of an Alpha, a raw dominance that would force werewolves into submission. I flinched instinctively, but 3 years of mental conditioning enabled me to hold my ground. With time, I rose to my feet. Do you know what your biggest mistake is? Lucas approached me step by step. You don't know your place. You're just a pathetic Omega with low-born blood and nothing to show for. Yet you think you are worthy of an Alpha. Samantha added. Talk about reaching way out of your league. No, actually it's even more ridiculous than that. She turned to the crowd and said animatedly, you have no idea how absurd she was. She would get up at 5 in the morning just to make breakfast for Alpha Lucas. Oh, it gets better. The excitement was apparent in her high-pitched voice. She would stand outside Alpha Lucas' office all day just for the chance to catch a glimpse of him. She sounds like a stalker, someone commented. Her wolf form is as scrawny as an unweaned pup. Marcus jumped in on the insults. Do you recall the recruit training? Another member of the Silver Moon Pack asked. She didn't even last 5 minutes. Her poor stamina, slow speed, and weak strength make her a disgrace to our kind. A classic example of inferior genes. Samantha pulled more stories out of the bag. I remember the first time she shifted. She nearly tripped over herself. Haha. Her wolf form is hideous. Her coat is dull. She just looks gaunt. How appealing can that be? Laura chimed in, though she had never witnessed me shift before. Lucas snapped an indifferent look at me. It's been 3 years. Do you think new clothes and a pair of glasses can change who you are? Dressing trash up doesn't make it anything but trash. Speaking of which, where has she been and up to in the last 3 years? Laura pretended to ponder. Just look at her. Her skin is well kept and she has the body. Samantha examined me. Samantha clapped her hands as if she had figured out the answer. I got it. She must be doing that kind of work. What kind? Someone asked deliberately. The type of work that only happens after dark. Samantha spoke in hushed tones, but her voice carried through the room. Are you talking about? That's right. It's that line of work. Her makeup is a dead giveaway. It's a total nightlife look, Samantha uttered with a thrill. Check out her figure. She's got the whole thing going for her. Laura joined the discussion. Maybe she has a client to meet tonight. What kind of client would even pay for her services? A desperate old wolf, maybe? Or anyone who is out for a cheap lay. A werewolf snickered lewdly. When Samantha started to associate me with companionship services, Lucas scowled hard. Laura, Samantha, mind your words. We were just being honest. That's enough, Lucas growled, his dominance as an alpha forcing Laura and Samantha to back down. He then narrowed his eyes dangerously at me. She's not wrong though. What sort of respectable work can an Omega conduct outside the pack? Luca took a step forward. The biggest mistake I've ever made was to mark you. I can't believe you'd run away. An emotion fleeted past his eyes. It was hard to determine whether it was pain, anger, or regret. You disappeared without a word. I heard nothing from you. Laura pinched her nose dramatically and recoiled. Oh moon goddess. Come to think of it, I think I smell something. What did you smell? It's the smell of poverty, defeat, and she paused for dramatic effect. Promiscuity. She's disgusting. Call security now. Kick her out. Laura raised her hand. Hang on. Don't throw her out just yet. She stepped closer, her gaze condescending as she looked down at me. Kneel. The air was thick with silence. I said kneel. Laura repeated her words while extending her foot in a crystal-studded heel. Wipe my shoe clean. If you do it, I might let you go without calling security. Laura scoffed. Otherwise, stealing a pass should be enough to put you behind bars. For a few years. Lucas fell silent for seconds. Laura, what? Are you feeling sorry for her? Laura looked at Lucas defiantly. Lucas clenched his jaw. I don't see a need to take this far. Laura sneered. Don't see a need? Do you still have feelings for this Omega? Don't be silly. Lucas' voice was callous, but he shied away from my gaze. Make her kneel unless you care about her. Laura was insistent. Lucas clenched and released his fists. In the end, he took a step back and said aloofly, do whatever you want. He looked away, refusing to meet my gaze. Kneel. 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 The crowd chanted, their voices growing in volume like a cult in the middle of a ritual. The Omega should get down on her knees. It's the least she can do. Hurry up and kneel. Samantha took out her phone. I should record this and post it on the internet. The world should see what happens to someone who doesn't know her place. I've got the title figured out. The ex-simp comes crawling back in public shame, she said with a thrill in her voice. It's going to go viral for sure, and the whole world will see. At the height of the moment, Samantha grabbed a cup of freshly brewed coffee from the table. Oops. In a not-so-apparent accident, she tripped over her heel and hurled the steaming cup of coffee at me. Since it was clear what Samantha planned to do with the coffee, I took a step to the side to remove myself from the trajectory. She lost balance from overextending, only to splash the coffee on herself. Aya. Samantha let out a blood-curdling scream. It was bad enough that the coffee was boiling, but the stain quickly spread across her $100,000 limited edition white dress like an abstract work of art. My dress! My dress! This is a limited edition Hermes, only 3 of its kind in this world. she screamed hysterically. Laura stepped in to help, but her foot landed on the $100 bills she had thrown to the ground. Her red-soled heel slipped on the banknotes. Eek! Out of the kindness of my heart, I reached out to pull her up and redirected the angle of her fall. Thump! Laura somehow fell back on her bottom right in the puddle of coffee, courtesy of Samantha. The seat of her $200 Dior haute couture gown blossomed with a rich coffee stain. Laura's shriek was far more harrowing than Samantha's. My dress. I got it custom-made just for tonight. The two women stood there in humiliation, one with her front soaked in coffee, and the other with a brown mark on her backside. You did it on purpose, Samantha shrilled, her finger up my nose. You spilled the coffee. I just happened to get out of the way, I replied indifferently. I then looked at Laura, who was frantically wiping her dress. You stepped and slipped on the money you threw to the ground. If you're looking to point fingers, you should blame yourself for throwing money on the floor. Lucas grimaced. Are you asking for a fight? He unleashed his full alpha dominance, exerting a level of mental intimidation that would make an ordinary werewolf crumble at his feet. I gnashed my teeth, desperately trying to keep on my feet while straightening my cuffs to hide the tremors. Lucas was utterly enraged. Security! Throw this she-wolf out! He shouted. Several burly-looking security guards took quick paces over. Hang on, Lucas said. He had every wolf's attention. Lucas approached, his presence looming over me. Here is your last chance. Come back to the Silver Moon Pack and admit your mistake. You must apologize for your disappearance 3 years ago. In exchange, I can overlook the past and provide you with a respectable job. You're an Omega. That's a fact that won't change. At least, you have a home with the Silver Moon Pack. Laura exclaimed. Are you crazy, Lucas? Paying her no heed, Lucas fixated on me. This is your final chance, Ava. As Lucas waited for my answer, the speakers blared through the hall. My fellow wolves, the summit will begin in 10 minutes. Today's special guest, Ms. Erin White, is with us today. She will be delivering a wonderful presentation and a tactical case analysis. The mention of Erin set Laura and Samantha buzzing, and their earlier embarrassment faded. Erin is here. Come on. I need to get a good seat. Struck by a thought, Laura looked at Samantha. Hang on. Where's the gift I prepared? It's here. Samantha's assistant presented a velvet box. A sapphire necklace worth $500,000. Perfect. I must be the first to present a gift to her, Laura said excitedly. Erin White, they say that she comes from blue blood, born from a line of an ancient pack. Samantha sneered at me. Unlike some werewolves, who are born trash and will be trash for life. That reminds me. You should pat her down before kicking her out. She might have stolen something, Laura told the security guards. Just as the security guards were about to grab me, the doors to the hall swung open. A young female assistant in a business suit rushed in, looking rather anxious. She was a staff member of the Alliance. Ms. Black. She hurried toward the VIP section at the front. What's the matter? Laura asked in annoyance while cleaning the coffee stain on her dress. Regarding Ms. White's reception tonight, Mr. Butler asked me to reconfirm the seating arrangement for the VIPs and the gift you have prepared. I've brought everything I need. It's a $500,000 sapphire necklace. Check it out. Laura perked up. She opened the velvet box to show off the piece of jewelry. The assistant gave a nod. All right. I'll make a note of it. Mr. Butler notified that if any late VIPs turn up, I should. Her voice trailed off when her gaze met mine. The assistant went white in the face. She blinked in disbelief before looking again, her hands shaking. In no way, she mumbled. What is it? What did you see? Samantha's patience ran thin. Instead of replying, the assistant looked me dead in the eye. Why, you're Ms. White. Her voice trembled. The notebook in the assistant's hand slipped and fell to the floor with a loud clatter. Ms. White. Oh, Moon Goddess. It is really you. I'm sorry. I must apologize for not attending to you sooner. What are you doing here? Why wasn't I informed of your arrival? The room fell silent. The crowd, who had been stirring earlier, went stiff. With a tremble of her arm, Laura dropped the velvet box, and out slipped the $500,000 necklace, glittering as if in cruel amusement. Laura's iPhone fell out of her grasp and hit the ground with a crack. The screen shattered. Lucas looked as if his soul had left his body. As color drained from his face, his lips parted, but no words came out. Taking my time, I removed my glasses and undid the knot of my hair, my black tresses falling behind my back. Amid the looks of shock and disbelief, I rose to my feet, got up on stage, and faced the microphone with a smile. My eyes scanned the ashen but familiar faces. Hello everyone. I am Aaron White, but my friends from the Silver Moon Pack might know me better as Ava Green, or as you like to call me, Trash. Silence hung heavy in the air. It's been 3 years and it seems you have not forgotten me. My gaze wandered across the room full of stunned faces. Samantha scowled hard. Laura looked at Lucas in disbelief. She's Aaron White. Lucas clenched his fists, his knuckles cracking. As he looked me dead in the eye. My topic today centers on the strategic role of an omega, reaching beyond simple biology. I opened the presentation file. For too long, many believe omegas are born weak and destined for servitude, but in truth, I played a video recording of my team annihilating 50 rogues with 0 casualties under my command. Gasps filled the room. This was filmed at the French border last year. Many asked how an omega could survive in a world governed by strength. The answer is simple, really. When you can't defeat your opponent with power, you conquer them with wits, I uttered indifferently. I designed the swarm tactic for 3 betas to defeat an alpha. My lure and strike strategy has once enabled a small pack to crush an enemy 3 times its size. Below the stage, Lucas's grim expression darkened. When the speech ended, the applause was deafening. Ms. White, you're amazing. Werewolves swarmed the stage. Can I get your autograph? Our pack would love to hire you. Samantha pushed through the crowd. Aaron, I mean Ava, we go way back. He smiled to her. I'm sorry. My memory is failing me. And you are. Her face turned flushed. I'm Samantha. We used to. Oh, you're the beta's daughter, the one who always pushes omegas around. My face lit up in realization. Every wolf gave Samantha funny looks. Laura squeezed in. Ms. White, I am Laura. I've always admired you. Can you? Luna Stone, I must congratulate you and Alpha Stone on your happy ending. I was polite but distant. We aren't mated yet, Laura said embarrassedly. Really? Not a single ceremony in the last 3 years? I pretended to be surprised at last. Lucas elbowed through the crowd to get to us. We need to talk. His voice was husky. Alpha Stone, I have another meeting. You can contact my assistant for any official business. I looked at the time. Ava. He grabbed me by the wrist that I lowered my gaze to his hand. Please unhand me. I acted as if a thought occurred to me. Oh, by the way, I heard that the Silver Moon Pack is looking for a security consultant that I can recommend a few candidates, and they are B-class strategic consultants, which should be adequate for you. Adequate. Lucas gritted his teeth. Well, the hourly rate of an S-class strategy consultant is $100,000, and I trust that you won't spend that kind of money on an ungrateful omega. With that, I walked away. Samantha's ingratiating voice came from behind. Wait, Ava, let's be friends. Laura was not falling back either. Please, Ms. White. More voices joined in. Oh, my moon goddess. She's an S-class strategy consultant. The Silver Moon Pack was certainly blind. I heard that she used to be a cleaner. Look what Alpha Lucas Stone missed out on. The smile on my face vanished when I stepped out of the venue. Feel better? Sarah asked. I've had worse, I replied. He looked like he had swallowed something foul. Serves him right. However, I knew Lucas would not give up so easily. Sure enough, Lucas came to my hotel that very night. A furious pounding rattled my door at 11 o'clock. Open up, Ava. I know you're inside. It was Lucas. I took my time to open the door in my bathrobe. Alpha Stone, are you aware of the time? He tried to push through, but I stopped him. I have not invited you in. We need to talk. By the looks of his bloodshot eyes, he had been drinking. It can wait until tomorrow. No, I need a word with you now. What do you want? Money? I can pay you anything you ask for. He forced his way inside. I closed the door and leaned against the frame. Do you think I need money? What do you want? Why did you pretend not to know me? Why did you humiliate me? He paced around the room anxiously. Humiliate? I chuckled. Alpha Lucas, I was just doing my job, but you jumped straight to thinking I'd done something indecent. So who's humiliating who here? Lucas stopped in his tracks. I had no idea you'd become so successful. And, if I were still a cleaner, would it give you the right to look down on me? Of course not. Ava, I've been looking for you for 3 years. He turned to face me. Oh, I went to every place I could think of, but you just vanished into thin air. He drew closer to me. Maybe you hadn't been looking hard enough. You were busy dating Laura after all. I doubt you had time to find a cleaner. I responded nonchalantly. There's nothing between Laura and me. Haven't you been calling her your mate for the past 3 years? That was my mother's doing. I've never mated with her, he uttered earnestly. How is that relevant to me? Ava Lucas tried to grab my hand. I pulled away. Alpha Stone, please show some respect. I have a meeting tomorrow. He blurted, hang on. What happened to our mate bond back then? Why did it disappear? I looked at him, contemplating whether to tell him the truth now. No, it would be too easy for him. Who knows? Maybe Moon Goddess has second thoughts. I shrugged. Lucas' face twisted in agony. My wolf yearns for you even without the mate bond. That's your problem. Please leave. I opened the door. Ava, I know I'd been a jerk to you, but please give me a chance to show you that I have changed. Good night, Alpha Stone. I pushed him out and closed the door behind him. The next day, Victoria showed up at the last gala of the summit. She went up on stage. My fellow wolves, I'd like to share some wonderful news tonight. I set my wine glass down for the drama that was to come. My son Lucas and Ms. Laura Black will be holding their marking ceremony next month. Amid the burst of applause, Laura cried tears of joy and jumped into an unsuspecting Lucas' arms. Mother! Lucas furrowed his brows. It's been 3 years. It's about time to make things official. Victoria grinned. I stood up and raised my glass. Congrats, Alpha Stone. Every wolf turned to me. But Luna, maybe we should clear up some old business before we celebrate. Victoria grimaced. What do you mean? For example, the $10 million from 3 years ago. The room went silent. $10 million? Lucas turned to his mother. Here's the contract. I held up my phone and projected the document onto a screen. Take a good look at this. The principal is Victoria Stone, and the agent Ava Green. The assignment was to act as Lucas Stone's mate and guide him through the alpha trial. The room erupted in clamor. Lucas' complexion went white. What is this? Oh, and this as well. I put up another document on the screen. Here is a receipt for a mist potion from Hazel the Witch. The potion works to create an illusion of a mate bond. That's impossible, Lucas staggered back. So, Ava was never your fated mate. It was all fake. Samantha said in shock. That's right. I was only a paid actress. I chuckled. Lucas lunged toward me, grabbing a hold of my shoulders. Tell me that this isn't true. All those morning training and late-night company together. They were all for work. I stared straight into his eyes. The way you cared for me when I was hurt. It was an act. The way you smiled when you made me breakfast. A complete act. The way you looked at me. That too an act. Each revelation cut through him like a blade. Have you ever even for a second felt something for me? His voice cracked and his eyes welled up. All eyes were on us as the quiet pressed in like a weight. I paused for a moment before uttering I had. His eyes flickered with hope. I looked him in the eyes. I believe it was the morning of the first month. You set 10 alarms, so you wouldn't be late for training. You told me that you didn't want to let me down, and in that moment I felt butterflies. But you called me a self-righteous and pathetic loser in front of every wolf, spiked me by bringing another she-wolf home, and humiliated me by calling me a cleaner. I added. I paused and observed the growing despair in his eyes. That was when I realized that you did not deserve my affection. Alpha Lucas Stone. For 3 years, I've endured the shameful reputation of being the money-grubbing Omega. Every wolf here believes I was a sad, undeserving, and ungrateful traitor you dumped. I looked around the room. I took a deep breath. Today is the day I clear my name and show every wolf the truth. Hashtag chapter name. Chapter 9. I looked Lucas in the eyes. I'm not doing this out of spite, Lucas. I just think that you deserve to know what happened, and I'll get the closure I need. That's enough. A commanding voice boomed. Victoria emerged from the crowd. Even in her 50s, she still carried herself in authority. Ava, don't forget what you have signed. Her icy voice reflected threat. I have not. The confidentiality agreement was for 3 years, and today marks the last day of the 3 years. I stared at her with composure. Victoria grimaced hard. So you have been waiting for this day. Kept my promise, just as I had when I left. I grinned. Mother, is this true? Lucas turned to Victoria, his voice filled with despair. Victoria closed her eyes. I did what was best for you and the pack. Laura's pack is powerful, but Ava, she came from nothing. She had me. I was all she needed, Lucas growled. Don't be naive. You made your choice, didn't you? All I did was remove the issue from the equation. Victoria smirked. Breaking down, Lucas fell on his knees. I'm sorry, Ava. I'm terribly sorry. Your apology doesn't mean anything. I brushed past him. I love you. Ava, I love you. I really love you, he shouted from behind. I sighed. Lucas, do you know what love is? It is about respect, valuing the other, and putting them first. All you had given me was humiliation, manipulation, and entitlement. I can change. It's too late. My heart belongs to someone else. While talking, I looked at Alexander Hitch, my colleague and superior, up on stage. Alexander, I accept your proposal. Alexander ran down the steps in joy and got down on one knee to put a ring on my finger. No. Lucas lunged forward, only to be held back by Marcus. Congratulations, Alpha Stone. You're free. You're no longer stuck with a cleaner, I said with a smile. Leaving Lucas broken, I took Alexander's arm and walked out of the hall. The mournful cry of a wolf, accompanied by shattering noises, rang out behind me. You're ruthless, Alexander said. It's called payback. I'm only giving him back the pain 10 times more, I replied. What about me? Do you love me? He looked at me. I glanced at the ring on my finger. I'm trying. At least, you have given me respect. He let out a wry smile. I'll wait until the day you fall for me. It might be a long time. It doesn't matter. You're worth it. He planted a kiss on my hand. 3 months later came my mating ceremony with Alexander in Europe. The union between the youngest S-class strategic consultant and the president of the European Strategic Consultants Association was the talk of the werewolf world. You're beautiful. Alexander straightened the hem of my mating dress. Thank you. I stared at myself in the mirror. All I saw was a white gown, a diamond tiara, and flawless makeup. 3 years ago, I was just a lowly Omega cleaner. Today, I was the most distinguished mate in all of Europe. Ava, if he attends, Alexander uttered. He won't be here. I cut him off. How can you be certain? Yesterday, Victoria told me that he has, I paused before saying, lost it. It was true that Lucas, the once formidable Alpha, had lost his mind. Apparently, Lucas locked himself in a room after the gala, his howls tearing through the night. His wolf had gone feral, attacking any werewolf who got close to him. In the end, the Silver Moon Pack had to sedate him. He's in a care facility now. The doctor said that he might never get better. Victoria's voice was strained with fatigue. That's a shame, I replied. Don't you feel bad for him at all? Luna, you taught me that affections are a luxury. The only thing that matters is the outcome. I looked her in the eye. She smiled wryly. I was wrong. I ruined my son, and nearly destroyed you. No, you made me. Without the $10 million, I won't be where I am today, I uttered. The mating ceremony went on without a hitch until the exchange of rings. The doors to the church burst open from outside. A hollow silhouette emerged at the door, and it was Lucas. He lost a lot of weight, his face unshaven, and his eyes bloodshot. Judging by the hospital gown he was wearing, Lucas must have fled from the care facility. Ava, his voice was hoarse. The crowd stirred. The security guards were quick to surround Lucas, but Alexander stopped them. Let him talk. Alexander held my hand. Lucas stumbled along the red carpet and fell on his knees before me. Ava, this is the notebook you made for me. I've kept it. He pulled out a worn notebook. I recognized the notebook. It was the training journal I had sorted out for him 3 years ago. I memorized every page. He flipped the book open, showing the pages of my handwriting. Look. Here, you wrote to keep pushing. This is where you drew a smiley face. Lucas, I know I'm too late. I know I'm undeserving of you. But I need to tell you that those 3 months were the best time of my life. That's enough. Lucas got on his feet shakily. No, let me finish. I want to let you know I finally understand what love is. Love is smiling when I see you first thing in the morning. Love is making you proud even when training is hard. Love is, he stopped and clutched his chest in agony. Love is realizing my bad it hurts when I lose you. The room fell silent. I'm not asking for your forgiveness. I just want to look at you one last time in your mating dress. He took a step back. You're beautiful, more beautiful than I can ever imagine. He smiled miserably. Goodbye, Ava. I wish you the best. He turned on his heel to walk away. Lucas, I called out to him. He stopped without looking back. Thank you, I uttered. For what? Thank you for showing me that I deserve better. His shoulders shuddered, and he took strides out. The mating ceremony resumed. That night, I heard that Lucas had been in a car crash on his way back to the care facility. The crash was no accident as Lucas smiled while driving straight into an oncoming truck. Victoria called me sobbing. He left a note, saying that he was finally free. I ended the call and stared at the moon outside the window. Do you resent him? Alexander asked. No. Hate is a strong emotion, and I don't feel anything for him, I replied. Do you have any regrets? I contemplated Alexander's words. No. He taught me a lesson, and I gave him what he deserved. It was a fair exchange. 5 years later, I became the vice president of the European Strategic Consultants Association, and the youngest SS-class strategic consultant in the world. I had 2 adorable pups, a loving mate, and a happy home. On occasion, my mind wandered to Alpha Lucas Stone. Instead of feeling a sense of longing, I was filled with contemplation. If only Lucas had known what it meant to cherish sooner. If only he had traded his arrogance for sincerity, maybe the story would have a different ending. However, there were no what-ifs in life. Mom, why is the moon round? My pup ran over. Because Moon Goddess loves everything coming in full circle. I picked her up. Then why isn't it always around? I looked at the crescent moon outside the window, recalling the story that never had a complete ending. That's because not all stories have the perfect ending, I murmured. What happens to the stories without an ending? They become lessons to remind us to cherish the ones we have. I kissed her forehead. That night, I had a dream. The dream held no trade, no potion nor lies. In that realm, when Lucas first met me, he said, "You're my mate, and I will cherish you for the rest of my life." We were happy in the dream. I woke up to a dry pillow because the she-wolf who would cry for him had died that night 3 years ago. Now I was Aaron Hitch, a she-wolf at the top of the world and a powerhouse who needed no pity. As for Lucas, he was just a brief chapter in my life, a harsh lesson that taught me to grow up. That was all there was to it.